Hi, everybody. I am so excited today. First of all, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today, we have such a special show for you. Today, we have author Natalie McDonald Perkins and her story, Best in Me, which I think is such a great book to share today on a special day, Martin Luther King. Without any further ado, we're going to bring her in and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful show. I hope you enjoy. Hi, Natalie.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me on your platform today. Really
You're
appreciate
welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We are so excited to have you. Um, Today is a very special a special interview, because I usually do a spotlight on Saturday or Sunday, and today's Monday. But because of the special book that you have made and put together, I think it's just fitting for us to share it with the world today. Um, Before we get into your book and before we get into any icebreakers or any questions about you as the author, I do want to share with the audience a little bit of history of Martin Luther King Jr. and why we celebrate him. So, this is our wonderful leader, Martin Luther King Jr. And the first question that I'm going to ask is, when was Martin Luther King Jr. born? Martin Luther King Jr. was born on Tuesday, January 15th, 1928, in Atlanta, Georgia. When was Martin Luther King Jr. married, and did he have any children? He married Coretta Scott on June 18th, 1953. They had four children: Yolanda Denise, born 1955, Martin Luther III, born 1957, Dexter Scott, born 1961, and Bernice Albertine, born 1963. Before I go to that question, Martin Luther King was born on January 15th, 1926, in Atlanta, Georgia. He passed away on April 4th, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee. He was a resident at the time of an award, the Nobel Prize in the USA. His role was the leader of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. His prize motivation was for his nonviolent struggle for civil rights for African American population. When did Martin Luther King Jr. die, and where is he buried? Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th of 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, where he was trying to help the striking garbage workers. The funeral was held on April 9th in 1968 at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. What were his dreams? That all people would someday be sisters and brothers in a world governed by equality, justice, and peace. And with this last question, we're going to go ahead to author Natalie McDonald Perkins, because her story is so powerful and so inspiring. And it corresponds with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream that someday sisters and brothers will be governed by equality, justice, and peace. And without any further ado, Natalie, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to ask you a question here. Let me just get my notes together. Um, what inspired, first of all, introduce yourself and your book, and then I'm going to ask you a couple questions about your book.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Again, like Jennifer said, my name is Natalie McDonald Perkins. I am the author of Best in Me. I am also a mom, a wife, and a teacher. Um, I actually went to school for multicultural studies. I have a master's in teaching, and the concentration is multicultural studies. So, social emotional learning is very near and dear to me, and I really enjoy writing about social emotional learning. Um, in my life, I was kind of a transient person from starting in early elementary school, going to different schools. My parents were divorced, and so when I lived with my mom, I went to mostly schools where there were Caucasian, affluent Caucasian communities. And I was always seen as being different. You know, people could just tell, okay, African American little girl. I got questioned about my hair, my color, my skin, and things like that. And I got bullied a lot as well. And then when I moved with my father in a more multicultural area in the Bay Area, the East Bay, the Alameda, San Leandro area, I saw more people like myself, and I almost felt like I was like um, forced into, only playing with the black kids, and all I knew before was just having, being friends with
Right.
my
Mhm,
white friends,
mhm,
living in the peninsula in that richer neighborhood. And so basically what inspired me to write this book was my own transient experiences going living in different places. And also I'm a wife of a veteran. My husband served in both the Army and the Navy, and so,
mm,
always having to kind of jump and adapt to a different place. And that is very true for a lot of my immigrant and migrant families that come from different countries, Middle Eastern countries, as well as in South America, coming,
yeah,
and trying to fit in, sometimes forced cultural assimilation for survival. And so I
mhm,
feel like my book kind of front loads some of those things that kids face and questions that kids might have, and gives parents type of
mm,
some teachable moments to be able to kind of expand on some of the things that are addressed in my book. Um,
awesome.
yes.
How I could tell you're so passionate, first of all.
Thank
I
you.
I enjoy your passion, and I could tell your passion draws from a deep rooted thing that's connected to you personally. And that is what I love about your energy right now, is the fact that you're speaking from truth, you're speaking from experience, and you're speaking from a point of, I didn't really like the way certain things were growing up. I'm going to be that change agent. And the best way to become that agent is to educate the youth, because the youth is the future. And the best way to do it is through writing inspirational books. Best in Me. I just can't wait till you get to some of the pages, because I know it's so powerful, the messages that you have in your story. I just want to ask you a question. How long have you been writing?
Well, I would have to say I've been writing my whole life. And so I wrote in the past, started manuscripts that would be children's books, even some adult romance novels that my husband,
Nice.
before we got married, we were working together, never got them published. And and then in college, I struggled with writing, and I took some remedial writing classes in college. And like ever since that, I mean, I went to Sacramento State, so it was a very good school. But I would say my first year in college, my second year, I started doing very good at writing, and I would get good comments. I still have a lot of my writing from school and stuff. And then I just got very very passionate about multicultural studies. And
Mhm.
so I would say I've been writing my whole life, but I just needed the proper training and the right people around me to motivate me and encourage me to do it. And
I want to say something right there, because what you said, you're giving so many good nuggets, and I love it because I want to pause you from time to time, because I love everything that you're saying. But I wanna this show today, guys. I hope y'all comfortable, because this is not gonna be a 15-minute show. This is gonna be a really important topic that we're talking about. Um, Miss Perkins, you said something so important. Um, and the way you responded is important. And I just want to highlight that real quick. You said when you started college, you started out in a remedial writing course. Writing was not a strength. However, you are a published author today. Your books could be found in Barnes and Noble, Walmart, your website, Amazon. You just keep going. And I am just so proud of you because your example just now just showed all the children that were told or think that they had, oh, I'm in remedial. I can never be a writer or I can never publish a book. I'm not that strong. And you just broke that lie by being an example. So I just want to say thank you so much because by you being truthful and being transparent, you just showed a lot of people watching right now. It doesn't matter where you start or how you start. What matters is you don't give up and you keep fighting for your dreams. So thank you. Um, you could keep going. I just I just sometimes gotta pick through you because I know you have so many good nuggets and thank you. Thank you for being that powerhouse for us and people who have doubt.
Yeah, I would have to say that something that's been very important to me are children, and I've been
Mhm.
wanting to be a teacher my whole life. You know, at the age of 3 years old, my dad was like, I fought you to be a lawyer and do something else, but you want to be a teacher." And so it would have been a kind of weird to me for my own personal self to have not written a children's book, especially as someone who mastered in multicultural studies and how to bring universal access into schools and how to have empathy for people that come from different places and to have that teaching tolerance and acceptance. And so I wanted to give something to my kids. I've taught in California. I'm actually from California, as I said before. I taught in Kansas and I taught in California. And all those different places has transient kids, whether they are military or migrant workers or immigrants. And I just needed something to be able to give them, a gift to give them. And and I needed something that connected with them, you know, where their culture and experiences and their linguistic differences, ethnic differences were celebrated, and something that, like I said, kind of front loads those conversations in homes as well. Mom, why does that girl have that kind of hair? Or who is Madam CJ Walker? What is cerebral palsy? Those type of questions.
Yep. Yep.
Parents have to do homework too. You know, it's not just on teachers. You have to have those conversations at home, diversify your child's mind, you
And
know.
I think that's why authors like you are a bright light because you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of the times, especially in our cultures, my culture, I come from a Hispanic background. So in my culture, we just do what our parents tell us to do and they do what their parents told us to do. Education, where I came from, a lot of my grandmother, she has a second grade education. Her mother did not even go to school. They had like 12 kids and they stayed home and they stayed on the island and that was that. So it's very interesting how education is not the focal point in some cultures and in some um, countries and islands. And it's so important that we have people like you, Ms. Perkins, who write stories like this because it teaches parents to change the language and to change the thought process. So, like that, their children can have a bigger understanding. The ignorance changes, the thought process changes, even the way we see ourselves, it changes because we have people like you that write stories that builds us up and it educates us and awakens us. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it. And, you know, even for me, you know, it wasn't just the children that I felt bullied me or made it be known to me that you're different. You don't fit in with us, but also the teachers. And so Best in Me and my next book, my book Baby Number Two, that is also for teachers, giving them something to help them change their minds and change their instructional practices and how they're connecting with their kids and getting to know their students who are coming from all these different places.
I think that's also very important as well. Teaching the teachers. Um, hmm, I have experiences where my own child was in kindergarten, and for a day like today, Martin Luther King Jr., a day of inspiration, a day of hope, a day that could be taken in such a positive light, was not. It wasn't taken that way in his classroom. He went to a predominantly white school. He's no longer there, but he went to this school, and just a teaching moment of influence and positivity went so sour, and just all the negativity and the trials and tribulations of culture was taught, instead of the engineers, the doctors, the lawyers, the trailblazers. It and I had a conversation when my son came home to me and said to me, "Ma, if I was back in the day, my teacher said I would be a slave.
Oh no.
You shouldn't teach, period, that, because children," he's in kindergarten, "children don't understand that concept, period." So I had a conversation with the teacher. He no longer goes to the school, but that's just the ignorance that I'm talking about. It's just ignorance, and teachers think it's okay to talk like that and to give this type of education to our children, and it's not okay. So again, I am just thankful for authors like you. I'm also an author. I write social emotional books as well, and it's just important for us to keep pushing out educational content, because it's not just for parents, it's also for teachers. Teachers are also systematically trained, especially in, like you said, like a predominantly white neighborhoods. They're trained to think and teach in a format, and we have to change that.
Yeah, and it's funny. I'm so glad you brought that up, and I'm so sorry that that happened to your son.
Me too. Yeah,
I hope that we can change his narrative about his teachers and teachers that may not look like him. That everybody's not like that.
that's
But
right.
it's funny that there's people. I'm so glad you brought that up. You brought something to my attention that some people go, like in my book, I say, yeah, I wanted to have some positive images of African American children, but my book is a multicultural book. But my book is not about Black people being down or people of color being down.
Amen.
Or you know what I mean? Like, and that's okay if you want to tell that history, if you want to share that history, that this is what we were and this is what we are, and we've got so far away from that.
So
But
far away. Yep.
when I'm showing, and I'll go into my book eventually, when I have these
We
images of
have time. This is a special show.
Amen. When I'm showing these images of African American children, it's not in the background; it's in the forefront. It's right in center. They're not in the backdrop. Oh, it is a multicultural book because there's a Black girl and she's sitting at a table, but the main character is Caucasian. No, it's not that. It's
Inclusive.
my daughter Justice is the main character in the book, and then there are other little girls that are also African American. And basically, I didn't tell you this, Jennifer, but each character in the book signifies a part of me or someone that I love.
I love
So.
it. I love it. So beautiful. So beautiful. So is writing your full-time career?
I wish. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, I know you're a teacher, but would you want to transition at one point to just focus on writing, or you just love teaching and writing, or where do you find the time to write?
Well,
That's a better question.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, as much as teaching is so much work, and people don't understand, even during the pandemic when we were teaching just at home, I'm at school now. I'm actually physically in the classroom. People were saying, teachers got it easy and things like that. It's hard being a teacher. It's a full-time, 365-day, 24-hour job. You may say, no, you're not. You're not at school. You still get the emails from the parents. You're still responsible. Like, even
Like
though
curriculum, grading, all that. Yep.
I have to still think about what I'm doing with my kids tomorrow. I can't just be on Monday. I'm like, well, I'm off today. And so teaching is something that's my forever job. Even if I leave out the classroom and I become an assistant principal or I go and do this, I will always be in curriculum and instruction. Whether that's at the college level, whatever, like teaching is me. That is who I am. I am a teacher. So that I'm never gonna go away from that. But writing, I would like to be a full-time writer, but I also want to build more street cred as a teacher. I've been in the profession for 20 years because I started as a young girl, as a young child, helping out at after-school programs, being a substitute. I worked my way all the way up. And, and I've been a teacher of record for 8 years now. So once I feel established in my career,
Hmm.
And maybe during my close to my retirement time, I may just write.
Yeah,
But also, my daughter goes to my school, and so I'm able to keep a good eye on her, and all my colleagues support me with her.
that's a
And
good
so,
benefit,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So I want to be, I have a child, so I want to stay connected with her education and her career and things like that. But with writing, it was nice that I started writing at the end of November, like no end of November, early December, and we ended up getting that stimulus money. So I was like, okay, go ahead and use this for that, and so it allowed me to get the time. And once I said I was going to write, I was actually going to write with some of my college friends back at Sac State. We were going to do this together, but our schedules didn't align. I did it solo, and I did it by myself. And then ever since I started writing Best of Me, and I saw all the love that I've been getting from people in my school. I mean, I sell my books at my school. People want to support and read the book to their kids and their classes, their students, and things like that. I was like, wow. And then I would get another idea, and I would get another idea, and I
Mm.
was, oh my God, I cannot sit down. So right after Best of Me, June 8th, 2020 is when Best of Me was published and out for the world. Starting August 20th, I started working on Proud to Be. So I'm addicted to this now. You guys do to me, authors inspired me, and I'm like, I got to keep going.
You
So
know, we have one life to live. That's it. And what legacy are we leaving behind? And that is my motivation every day is I have my children, and one day I will, God willing, be alive to see my grandchildren. And if I'm really lucky, I get to see the great grands. But what is it that I'm leaving in my generations and my future generations? And I think books are powerful, words are powerful, affirmations are powerful, along with generational wealth. Like all these things are so powerful to leave behind. So definitely, we have one life. We do it now that we're young, and we can enjoy the fruits of our labor when we get older. Um, I know there's a few people watching now that are tuned in. I just want, yes, hi guys. Guys, you can. I'm gonna open up for questions. So if you want chat, put in the chat box any questions that you have for author Natalie McDonald Perkins. We can post them up on the screen. I want you guys to get involved as well. This is everybody conversation tonight. Like I said, it's a very very different spotlight. So even you audience have the spotlight. So come on in, ask questions. Let me see how this is gonna work. This is new. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay, hold on. I'm getting it, guys. Put this back up here. So yep. So once you guys have questions, start asking questions. I'll type them in the chat. Let me see what people are saying here. Okay. I don't know, I don't know how to transfer the chat over. So somebody asked, how many children do you have?
I have one daughter, but hold on, I have 20 something kids in my classroom, and those are my babies too. I love them just as much as I love my child. Trust me, trust me, believe it.
And another question was, how old is your daughter, and did she inspire how did she inspire you to write your children's book?
I would have to say, you know how I was talking about me being a transient student and moving from school to school and being bullied and having to live in different places and having that culture shock experience.
Mhm.
I wanted to give her something that when she's able to read it, that it will inspire her at that age when she's ready to receive that message. And also, I would have to say, like in the book, I picked certain names in the book that were specific to the character. Like I used the name Justice. That's my daughter's name, and so she's the main character. And she was
Beautiful
just
name.
like, yeah, thank you. And she was like, in the end of the book, she's like, the best of me is simply being me. And so, like, you know, I want her to be able to really believe who she is. And I know that uh, one of the questions is like, what is my message? And it's
Mm.
discover who you are, be who you are, love who you are, and love others. And so I kind of want to really make sure that message is really clear for her. And so Yeah, her name is Justice, and she's going to be kind. She's going to be just to people. She's going to love other people, even if they're different.
And I have a question for you. Growing up, books like this, like inspirational children's books, I don't remember seeing a lot of wonderful books like this growing up in my school's libraries. Have you seen books that were so inspiring and awesome and diverse in growing up or no?
I mean, so I really, really, really got attached to the book Amazing Grace, that whole series. I loved it. And then I found out, and I've said this before in other interviews and things like that, that the author was Mary Hoffman, which is a white woman, which is nothing wrong with that. But I really, really feel more connected when the person who wrote the book is, of the same
I,
culture. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Of
I
the character
do. I
story.
do. And there's
It's so
nothing wrong
real.
with that.
Yeah, it feels really real. I
It,
love I
mhm.
love Hair Love. That's my favorite book right now. Like I'm in love with Hair Love.
Hair love.
Hmm.
Awesome, awesome. I think I'm interviewing that author soon.
Whoa! Wow!
I
Man,
think so. I think I'm in contact with her now. So
it's a boy. It's a guy.
okay. Is a guy. All right. So some who am I interviewing? It's something with hair.
Oh, there's a lot of hair books.
Oh, I know Hair Love. Okay, no, not him. Not him. Hair Love is awesome. I would love to get Hair Love. Um, no, 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 no. It is another book that I'm thinking about right now that I'm interviewing actually on the first weekend in February. So you have to tune into that uh interview. But
Oh
anyway,
my God, you made me feel. I was like, hold on, you about to interview Matthew Cherry? I'm like, okay, that book won an Oscar. You got me real hyped. Like,
I
woo,
know now that I thought about it, y'all. I know all the audience is like, really? Now that I
oh
thought about it, I'm like, "Oh, wow." Actually, Hair Love, not to take away from the interview, but Hair Love is so empowering, and I actually saw, the video. Did you see the video?
the trailer.
So amazing, so beautiful. It deserved to win an Oscar. So definitely, one day I will get on that level where I can interview, Oscar winners. But anyway, yeah, so let's keep up with our interview here and your wonderful story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give you the platform. I think we've been talking for a good half hour, which is amazing because like I said, this topic is so powerful. But I'm going to step out and like I said, you can read a couple pages, you could wherever you're comfortable and just bless the audience with your story. And without any further ado, I'm going to step out.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a few pages of the book. Um, I'm gonna actually, my book is actually a mixture of narrative and poetry, and so I'm gonna just read the poems because there's a lot of text on the page, and I don't want to take up too much time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn to my poem about Jacqueline. This is one of my favorite. I'm gonna show you the picture. So go that way. This is Jacqueline, and she loves her natural hair. I'm gonna read the poem. My cotton mane spreads like the sun rays. Oh, I love my natural hair. People are welcome to stop and stare. Don't you dare. Never put your hand up there. Afro braids and twists of the hairstyles I wear. Proud to be African American with my fist in the air. So that's Jacqueline. And she got teased for having Afro. So she refused to get off hours car one morning because of the hairstyle on her hair. And then here we have, I'm paying some homage to Madam C.J. Walker, which is also a teachable moment for parents to be able to kind of tell their children who she is and what she did. So I put that little nugget in there. And then another one of my favorites poems that I wrote was of this beautiful girl named Sierra. And she gets teased for her dark skin. And I think she's beautiful. And after she reads this poem and she's courageous enough to share it with her friends, she believes that she's beautiful too. I'm going to read it now. People pick on me because I have a richness of melanin in my complexion. With my skin, I see no imperfections. Black is a color of a radiant diamond. Diamonds are transferred coal. I can't worry about what they say because loving me is my goal. I'm not just beautiful from the outside. I have a beautiful heart, mind, and soul. And I also have a poem that I want to read. This is for Jennifer. I know Jennifer comes from a Latin background. I thought this one she would actually enjoy, and any of her family members or friends that also speak Spanish might enjoy this. Language is also is considered a difference. It's a linguistic difference that often people get teased for as well. And so I want to share that with you. All right, here it is. Here's Mario. Okay. And he's having a parent conference with his parents. And then here you see the Mexican flag. And so I'll be referring to all these things in a poem. I get teased because I have a distinguished lingo. Habla español. That's how I communicate with my people. I'm a proud Mexican. See a snake and brown eagle? I translate for my padres during my parent-teacher conference. I always tell the truth, and I do it with confidence. Instead of teasing me, people should learn cultural tolerance. So tolerating and accepting people despite their cultural difference that they may have that's different than yours. That is, I don't want to give away my book too much because I want you guys to go out and read it. But I also have one more poem I'll share with you, and this is really near and dear to me. Hey, to my cousin Sharon who may be watching. This is for her. She lives cerebral palsy. She's an amazing woman. I love her so much. And I made a character that simulates who she is. If you notice this little girl, her name's Sharonda, which is my cousin's name, and she wants to be president of the United States. This is really, really inspiring for little girls, especially with our new vice president, Kamala Harris. It's definitely timely, this book, and relevant. So I'm going to read the poem. I was born with cerebral palsy. The whisper and stares, how they appall me. No friends to play with at recess. I beg my mom to withdraw me. I'm smart, I'm strong. I can do what they can do. Oh, the choices in life, which shall I pursue? I see myself in high places. I know my dreams will come true. And you know, her dream come true, but we've been waiting for a female African American, whether it be president or vice president, for very long. We still want a president one day. We have some time and things that we need to do in order for that to happen. But yeah, this is definitely what's happening, and a lot of dreams of little girls being able to do jobs that they may not be actually encouraged to do because of their gender. So just want to let you guys know that my book, Destiny, is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, Target, and other fine bookstores. I'm going to show you guys the back of the book right here. And this right here is definitely showing diversity and inclusivity of everybody loving each other. And this kind of brings me back to Martin Luther King's dream. And I will read the quote that really is relevant and that really is aligned to the back cover of the book and even the front cover of the book, and the message of the book completely. I have a dream that little black boys and little black girls will join hands with little white boys and little white girls as brothers and sisters. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. My next project that I have is called Proud to Be. And I hope to release and publish that book in April 1st, between March 15th and April 1st. You know, we need to have some time to do it right. And this book has a character in it who has a special name. And it brings light to another difference that we all may have. Sometimes we have different names that are hard to pronounce, but they have significant meaning to us. And this is why people need to be able to pronounce it and know how to respect us and our identity and our cultural connection to our names, as well as family lineage. And so if you have a special name, name out there and it's kind of hard to pronounce, or you're a teacher or a parent and your child has a special name, you may connect with the book Proud to Be. And in the book, I have Justice comes back up in the book. She's the main character of Best in Me. She comes back up, and then we have some cameos of some of the other characters that are in the book. One more thing I'm gonna do before I leave, and I let Jennifer go ahead and close us out. I'm gonna read the back of my cover. Maybe this will get you interested and kind of get you ready to go and purchase it. Go ahead and read it on Kindle for free, or maybe you want to participate in our free giveaway that we're having. So here it is. Natalie McDonald Perkins' debut book, Best in Me, is one that will linger within your soul for days, months, and years to come. The book unites the senses through the use of poetry. Her intentional and perfectly crafted words take every adult on a nostalgic journey, forcing one to re-examine childhood wounds at the hands of unkind people. While Perkins invites us into the lives of non-multicultural children, she effortlessly uses the power of language to weave a common thread that will resonate with children across the world, as well as the child that still lives within every adult. As you flip through the pages of this book and get lost in the words, Perkins will subconsciously challenge you to initiate a dialogue with your students. Step up and rise to Perkins' challenge by first owning the book and gifting it into the ones you love. This book belongs within every children's personal library and every school library across the world. Dare to look within yourself and discover and or rediscover the best in you. And with that being said, I will let Jennifer go ahead and take us away.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was amazing. Everything. Hold on. I'm sorry. That was so amazing. I pray that everybody go out and buy Best in Me and your new book. Yeah, there it is. I love everything about it. Diversity, inclusion, power, and knowing your position in life. I think that is very important, especially children. I hope that you guys did take away from Miss Perkins when she said, all of us, we all have gifts. We're all special. We're all different. But that doesn't mean that we cannot all be united, like Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. And I hope and pray that this world becomes a better tomorrow, especially with books like this that are being produced by writers like her with a passion and a desire that she brings to her words from not only her own experiences, but also the experiences as a teacher and seeing what she's seen and going through what she's gone through in her life. She is giving you guys inspiration, she's giving you hope, and she's giving you an ability to learn and grow. So I am so thankful for her, and I'm thankful for her being on Spotlight. And without any further ado, we are going to close out.
Jennifer,
And
let me show my shirt real quick. We said we were going to show it.
Oh yes, your shirt.
Okay.
You got to show the shirt.
So I actually went to the King Center. I went to the Martin Luther King Center in Atlanta. It was an amazing experience. I did not get to go into his house, but I did get to purchase his shirt. And this was about 3-4 years ago. And this is what my shirt says: Unite, dream, believe, and have hope. 365 days of the year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that is something that we should always hold on to: uniting, believing, dreaming, and hoping. 365 days of the year. And I kind of want to not, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to say it because this is my show, so I can say it. Guys, I just want you guys to know, I know that we are raised sometimes to see people differently, to see disabilities differently. We're raised sometimes to judge. We're raised sometimes to criticize others that don't look like us. We're raised sometimes to make fun of people. And these are learned behaviors, and these are behaviors that are not okay. And it's so important for all of us to really take a step back, listen to our hearts, listen to our feelings, and start breaking these chains that have been forced on us from generations to generations to generations, thinking it's okay to live like this, but hate and division and just I I just pray that everybody takes a moment, reflect on what's going on in the world today, and really start thinking for yourself. Would you want what's happening to other people and their children to happen to you and your child? Because the moment you shift that thinking and put it on you, it don't feel so good because it isn't good. So I want everybody to take away from today, especially today's messages. There's been a lot of messages today, but today's message is strictly on breaking down walls, building bridges, unifying, diversifying, and loving one another the way we should. Do you have any closing words, Miss Natalie McDonald
Well,
Perkins?
um, I would have to say is that now that we're in a new year, we're in a new season, it's really time to do all the things that we set out to do. It's not time to just give lip service to it, but uniting, being in solidarity, speaking that, walking in that is what we need to be
Mhm.
doing for 2021. And making sure that we share that same perspective with our families and our children.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
time.
Change a mindset, you change a nation. And this is what we're doing. 2021, a lot of us authors are doing this. This platform right here, Spotlight, is contributing to that change. I love all of the authors that I've interviewed so far. And to be honest, like there is a trend happening on Spotlight. I'm interviewing a lot of wonderful authors like you that empowers diversity and unity and faith and the love for each other as brothers and sisters in Christ. And there's just so much good positive energy on Spotlight. So I am really excited to see what the future has to hold for this show and the breakthroughs that are going to come from the viewers watching the show and just being educated by authors like yourself.
Yes, and so Jennifer, I really appreciate you having me on this platform. I do want to mention, I know that Jennifer mentioned this yesterday or last night, that I do have a book giveaway in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it's called I Love Myself Challenge. And I know that I said I'll give 4 books away, but if I get more participation and you guys are sending me your videos and pictures on what makes you special and makes you different, I'll give away more books. I don't have a problem with that. I just want you guys to participate. Get my book into your child's library, diversify your child's library, and get this book into your child's library
Yep. Yep.
and your child's teacher's library as well.
Yes. Yes. Where can they send a challenge to? Is it to your email, to your website? Where can the viewers submit their challenge?
It's going to be at author Natalie Perkins at gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna write that in here real quick. Let me see how this works. And what's the name of the challenge again, Miss Perkins?
I love myself.
And you said they could submit
Yep.
to Natalie.
At author Natalie,
Oh, I'm sorry. At author.
Natalie Perkins at gmail.com.
Okay. Let's see this. How this is gonna look. Nope, it didn't show. Wait a minute. Let's try this one. There it is.
There you go.
You see it?
That's perfect. Yep.
Okay. So, oh, go back. Wait a minute. There
Yeah.
it is.
There you
I'm
go.
going to leave that up. All right. So, it's I Love Myself Challenge. Submit to author Natalie Perkins at gmail.com. Now, one more time, tell them what they need to do for the challenge. Is it a video? Is it a letter? Is it a what exactly are you looking for to for these wonderful giveaways?
Well, I wanted it to kind of give a choice. And so the choices are either a video of why you love yourself, what makes you different, what kind of skills or talents you have that you're sharing with the world,
Mhm.
or that you have for yourself that makes you, who you are. Or you could send me a photograph of you. This is going to be for kids, a photograph of you with a description, like a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences about what makes you different, makes you special. So it's a choice, what people feel
Mhm.
comfortable with. And I'm giving away free books, free 99.
Free
Nothing.
99. You can't go wrong with that, guys. You can't go wrong with free ever. All right. And you know what? I'm gonna have my kids do the challenge too. I have an 8-year-old, I have a 12-year-old, I have a 17-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Let's see what we do. We're gonna put a nice little show video together, send it over to you. Maybe we'll win. Who knows, guys?
Yeah. And then look out for Proud to Be. Like I said, that's coming out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do between March 15th and April 1st. We're not going to rush the illustrator because I'm done. But yeah, Proud to Be is the next book that's coming out. And I want you guys to look out for that. And I'll let Jennifer know. And Jennifer, hopefully you'll be kind enough to put me back on the platform and talk about that book.
absolutely. Absolutely. So Proud to Be is launching, you said in April?
Yeah. You say April 1st.
April 1st. Okay, let's see how this looks. Show that one. Hey,
Oh, that's it. Yes.
I love this platform. It's so fun. Like you can just add stuff. I love it. So coming soon, proud to be. Natalie is doing her thing, and I love everything about her right now. Her energy is real. I feel it, and I hope you guys feel it too. And just change is it's time. It's
It's
time for
time.
more. It's time. It's been time,
Been
but
time.
yeah, it's yesterday, right? How quick we want it yesterday. Wait, how my mother used to say it? Mommy, when do you want this done? I wanted it done yesterday. So that's how fast change needs to come yesterday fast. So I know that was like a corny joke. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Only through Christ, through the Lord, can any of this be possible? Whether it be change or the writing of books and having true wisdom and love for what I do, I couldn't do it without God. I just couldn't. It wouldn't be able to happen.
And you know what? I love that you said that because Philippians, 4:13, I believe, is, all things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. And it's just so important because it is his will be done for such a time as this. And this is it. I love what God is doing, and I love that He's connecting us all. Um, I love how He used something so bad like a COVID and things like this that happened, but He did turn it around for our good. And there's a lot of great authors that has came out of COVID. There's a lot of great businesses that was birthed during COVID. There's a lot of great things that happened, and a lot of it is for his glory. So, um, thank you. I don't want to take no more of your time, but thank you.
And I just wish you a prosperity, wisdom, networking, and success with your book as well, Jennifer. And I thank you so much again.
Thank you so much. Take care, Natalie. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, and that's so awesome. Definitely by her story, by her book. Proud to Be is coming in April. You guys don't want to miss out. Have these in your children's library. Um, as a mom, you just never know what your kids are going through. And sometimes just picking up a book and being in that silent moment with that story that speaks to them in that time of need when they cannot talk to you or they cannot go to somebody because they're going through something or they feel different, picking up a book like Best in Me and Proud to Be will speak to their spirit and will really uplift them. So do not miss this opportunity to pick up this book. And don't forget the challenge. Okay, I Love Myself Challenge, and send it over to author Natalie Perkins at gmail.com. God bless you all, and thank you for tuning in. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.